Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and all. Welcome to this, me sounding awful. I didn't sound this awful till about a half hour ago. I'm fine. I can't clear the stuff off my vocal cords. I have been coughing and hacking, and there's thick stuff stuck on my vocal cords that will not come loose. Yay. Anyway, though, for the Shelton, Washington weather report, filled with pollen. Oh my God. It is pollen city here, just like in many places. It's absolutely horrific. I wheeze and hack. I take stuff. It's not that I'm reacting with my immune system to this stuff. It's just my lungs are clogging up. And my throat is sore from coughing. Even more, last night when I was out on walkies, I hit a point where I had to cough and cough hard. And it was so hard and the stuff was so thick down inside of my throat that as I coughed and then was going to bring it up, it was so thick and traveling so slowly, it hit my gag reflex. I almost leaned over and started puking because of that. Oh my God, it was awful. So, yay. I'm taking the 24-hour loratadine, which I guess is like the generic Claritin tablets every morning, but I think I'm going to be taking more than one. I know a lot of people that do. Can't take much more, don't want to die. I mean, you got to be careful with meds. I'm going to make sure that that's not, going to kill me. Because there are some meds. You do that, you are hosed. If you are on, like, the generic name is furosemide. It's a diuretic water pill, as many people call them. Its brand name is like Lasix. But if you're taking that and you double up thinking that you're just going to do good stuff on your body to get rid of extra water, no, you can kill your kidneys. You can just kill your kidneys and you will need dialysis. So a lot of meds. You have got to be super, super careful. So of course I'm going to Google all of this stuff and make sure it's okay, but holy smokes. I sneeze every once in a while, but I'm older and I have sneeze attacks. So that's not a problem. My eyes are okay. They're not itchy and scratchy. I can breathe through my nose. Most of my life I haven't been able to, so that's nice. And I can still talk, partially. But it's just, my lungs are clogging up. But everybody that I see and talk to and listen to online is just being destroyed by allergies this year. Thumbs up. So the almost vomiting because of the thick secretions from the allergies while walking part was written down in my story thing. There's also another thing that I just remembered this morning because it's really, really weird when I go walkies, and it's part of just the human experience and probably part of the medication, Ritalin, because of what it does to your eyes. But when I go out walkies and the sun is right so that it's shining on the road so that you can see all the raised portions, because the roads are largely just, blacktop stuff, which is stuff, mixed in with just rocks, which makes things better when you're doing that, which is like when you see, cement that's got rocks in it, that rocks in it just makes it stronger and better than just cement without rocks. So the road topping, the blacktop type stuff with the rocks in it, and then after years and years of being driven on and the weather, there's the higher areas and then the lower areas around those raised parts. When I go out looking at them in afternoon light, our eyes and our minds are weird anyway. There's like, it's like pareidolia is where you see like faces in things and things that don't have faces and such. You're seeing things that aren't there from images that you see in the world. Amelia, no. You'll go out later. She's been going in and out and in and out and in and out all morning. So yay, she can wait. But now that I'm on Ritalin, when I go out walkies and I look down at the roads, I don't see just random weird bumpy stuff. I see words and letters. I can't focus on them. Partly my eyes, this one's nearsighted, this one's farsighted. I got astigmatism in both and blurry vision when I'm on Ritalin, so everything just is harder to see. But when I look at the roads, yeah, I see all these words written in one of those soft, bubbly type fonts online, where the letters are kind of soft and stretchy, and they look like they're extruded bubbles. I see that. I can't, again, focus on what they say, but holy smokes, can you imagine if you saw that and you didn't know why and you couldn't figure out what was happening, and you started trying to read the roads and you were walking a particular path with your particular brain makeup that began to obsess you? Because I can imagine some people would be obsessed. But for me, looking at it, it's fascinating. Because when I look at the roads, I don't just see a road. I see a road, and it's just flowing text that covers the roads everywhere. Any place the surface of the ground is bumpy like that, I see it just covered in flowing balloony text. Words and sentences that I can't read, smeared all over the roads. It's cool, but it's also weird. I mean, I halfway understand why it's happening with the meds and why, but hokey smokes. I mean, it's bad enough with astigmatism. When you go out and you look at things, depending on what kind of astigmatism, well, I mean, how bad it is and all that, you can see some really weird things. I mean, when I go out and walkies at night and I look at like traffic lights, if you Google an image of the human iris and then look at the image results, the human iris is so weird. It's filled with strands and filaments, and it's three-dimensional thick. When I look at a street light, I see a aura around it with no color that looks like a transparent human iris. Where the pupil would be is where the light is, and there's this nimbus around it. And the nimbus doesn't move. It stays in that pattern, in that shape, around that light. And it's just by astigmatism. And other lights, depending on what they are, there's just shards of color going out in lines outward. And then, of course, I've got another issue. Had it for a couple of years where hopefully I'm not, dying of anything. But I have messed up vision when I go out walking. A lot of people say there's a thing like a visual migraine where it doesn't cause a headache, but it messes with your vision. I still see things. They'll break out into, I'll see things pixelized. The world isn't pixelized, but I'll see things in pixels. Large ones, like if there's a sheet of paper, there's pixel, pixel, pixel. That's weird, but it happens. When I'm out walking, I will quite frequently have visual artifacting, tearing at the edges of my vision. If I'm walking by a lot of things with a lot of black framing, things that are framed will become disjointed from the rest of the background and float free as I pass it. And there's motion lines, and it hurts when it happens, not physically, but you're not supposed to see visual artifacting and visual tearing just from your vision. But I do. Not all the time, but it's weird. So, I don't know. Is that a part of why I'm seeing text in the road? Luckily, I'm not crazy. As stated, I know what's going on. It's the meds in this particular case. Why I had the visual tearing? Hopefully it's just a visual migraine that explains the visual artifacting and the motion lines and the breaking apart of stuff when I'm walking past things. It's not really bothersome and disturbing because I'm not dead yet, so hey, might not be cancer. Oof. Past that, not a whole lot has been happening. I have been thinking of the one story that I do want to write. I did actually partly write a story about my one character, Tammy Bayman, whom I've mentioned before, but like a year, 2 years, year and a half, something like that ago, I was doing a thing where I would read a paragraph of text at the beginning of every video as sort of an intro thing. And I was reading portions of a story about this character, Tammy, as if I was reading just portions of an already written story. But instead, I was just making up that particular portion while advancing along in where the story would be. So that when I was done, I actually had a story. And it made sense, and then there's the character, and working on from there. So her story is the one I'm going to be doing. Now, I've mentioned the name, so hopefully there's a little understanding. She's Tammy Bayman. She lives in an alternate world where there's a whole lot of extra universal pressure and power from Kadiron, one of the cosmic horror pantheon, having an interest in the universe close by, and the heat and the pressure has radiated outward into their universe. Tammy is lucky. She's one of those very few that got a positive thing out of this. Everyone else is, well, it's bad. Because in her case, of course, she called in for work the one day she'd ever called in. The first day she could ever recall being sick enough that she had to call in. She'd had minor things before, but this knocked her out. And while she was in bed being sick, she didn't see the news how where she worked, one of her coworkers went in with a briefcase full of kitchen knives. And when she was done, all 13 of her coworkers were no longer alive. And then she, when she was leaving, well, there were the cops. And she took out 2 of the cops with the butcher knife that she had left. The last cop she took out even after getting 2 headshots. So, yeah, power stuff. And so Tammy, she pretty freaked out when she recovered from the sickness that kept her from going to work. Yeah, she has an ability that keeps her safe and alive. But the thing is, does it really is that the primary purpose? Because for the first time in her life, she got sick. Kept her from going to work. It could have kept her alive had she gone there. She doesn't know this, but so she goes on vacation to try and get her head back together. Nostalgia, a city where her family used to go for vacation when she was a child. That's where she comes across the hideous forest creature that's killed every single person in the 20,000 person town. And she manages all on her own with her ability to take it out. She comes out of it safe and alive, and it's gone. So she was taken out of one situation that she could have easily survived and thrown into another that, yeah, she's still going to survive it because of her ability that the extra universal powers give her, but that certainly isn't trying to keep her safe, is it? So now that she knows that she can't really get hurt, what's going to continue happening to her? So thumbs up on that. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people, or however many people left me a comment, and I'm going to do that. I went and derailed myself by adding in an editorial comment. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and blah, 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 if, and I count American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, so I still forget things. As you can see, remember, I am on a subtherapeutic dosage of Ritalin right now, so I have slowed down time, but I can't really think or concentrate. Yay. Ice Damon, thank you so very much. Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. Alejandro Gomez, thumbs up and thank you. Rob, greatly appreciated. Good to see you. Mad, thumbs up. And Monica, greatly appreciated. What are we doing with our lives? Well, whatever you'd like to do. Thumbs up and thank you very much. DVR03, good to see you in the comments again. Thumbs up. We have Nicholas Quercio. I bet I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. Attractive Zombie, the best kind of zombie. Thumbs up and thank you. And we have Nando Rice Taruti. Good to see you in the comments. John Sinoimeri, thumbs up and thank you. Colin Reisner, greatly appreciated. Dash Harath, thumbs up and good to see you in the comments. And there we go, 14 people who were leaving me comments. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. Definitely a thumbs up on that. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated to no end. If you could check out my various things down below, I do have Twitter, Facebook, Patreon.com, and if you could become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. And if you'd like to help me out without sending money through the patronage, I have a PayPal link down below. If you'd like to help me out without sending money at all, hopefully I've got my Amazon wish list thing fixed up, where it has things like reptile sand and hamster food and hamster bedding and cat food and hopefully a pair of shoes. If you could check that out, that would be very cool. Do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled, and if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them on the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. And of course, if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very, very cool. Hokey smokes. I am just fighting, just hacking and coughing. And Amelia, you will wait. It's only another few. You will wait. I am fighting a desperate coughing attack, so yay on that. It's going to be a good day. Even if I have to tell my kitty, Amelia, no, you're going to wait. Don't make me push you away from the door. I will, too. So, if you're in an area where there's a lot of non-vaccinated people or where it's raging out of control, please be very, very careful. If you have to go out, wear a mask, even if you've gotten the shots, because it does keep you safer. Maintain your social distancing. Try not to touch your face. Wash your hands and just be safe. Be safe, please. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a definite thumbs up. Oh, I'm just laughing at myself now.